In tonight's edition, we teach you how to find out where your expression of interest stands in the competition, what changes have taken place since the 1st of July, and going from a 485 visa to a student visa by travelling offshore. Is that such a good idea? Hi, I'm Carl Conrad and welcome to our weekly edition. Australian Immigration Law Services is the only company in Australia that publishes a weekly news edition where you get the benefit of a business that has been operating for 26 years of running a licensed private practice. Tonight, we're going to help you find out where your expression of interest fits in with all the competition. Get to the Skill Select start page, and I'll leave a link in the description for this. Then click Next up on the top right-hand side. Then go to Visa Type in the box called Filter Pane. Click on the 189 visa, for example. Then in the top left menu, you will see the visa type has been selected. Go back again to the visa pane and click on EOI status and then click on to the submitted part. In the top left menu you will see it has also been added. Then go down to the box choices below and tick yes for occupation groups and yes for points. Go to the top right and then click next. The resulting window will then show all the occupation groups on the screen. Click on the first occupation at the top, which is Construction Managers, and a green box will appear. A new menu box will appear above called Occupation Groups. Click on the Occupation Groups box and you will see you can choose other occupations by scrolling down. Let's take accountants for example, and you can even click on multiple occupations and all the results will be displayed. Looking at the data, you can see the top three, 115, 110, and 105 points. There are less than 20 EOIs submitted for each. It does not specify the exact number though. For 100 points, there are 53 EOIs waiting. Further down, you can see the figures increase dramatically to 3,104 EOIs at 70 points. It then gives you a good indication of what your chances are for an invitation. So for all of you out there who ask me what are my chances questions, here you go. You can find out for yourselves. A big thank you to Yu Grua from Germany, who pointed out that many of our viewers may be interested to find out where they stand in the EOI database. Next week we'll talk about how these EOIs work in the state and territory sponsored 190 and 491 points-based visas. There have been a few changes since the 1st of July, but not a lot so far, so let's go through them anyway. In order to speed up the number of overseas nurses migrating to Australia, from the 1st of July, the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Accreditation Council, known as ANMAC, will expand the eligibility criteria under the full skill assessment pathway for internationally qualified registered nurses. These changes provide a clear assessment pathway for applicants from a broader range of recognised countries. Applicants can now be considered for a full skill assessment if they are currently or previously registered in the United Kingdom, Ireland, the United States, Canada, Singapore or Spain. Who is eligible? Applicants may be eligible if they have completed their initial nursing qualification and are currently or were previously registered as a nurse in one of the countries listed above, or completed a 3-year nursing qualification after the 1st of January 2017, gained registration by passing a regulatory exam, and have completed at least 1,800 hours of paid registered nursing practice in one of the countries we mentioned before. Applicants must still meet ANMAC's existing full skill assessment requirements such as English language proficiency, proof of identity, verification of registration and professional references. For more information, we'll leave a link in the description of this video. The Western Australian State-Nominated Migration Program has hit the pause button from the 1st of July and no new invitations will be issued at this time. They are waiting for the allocation numbers to be confirmed by the Department of Home Affairs for this program year. While they still continue to receive and assess applications issued out before, successful applications will be nominated when the 25-26 program year places become available. Now that the online visa and citizenship processing applications has taken hold within the Department of Home Affairs, on the 1st of July the department ceased its operations in the Australian Embassy in Berlin and will be closing the visa processing office there. The department has stated that its offices in Belgrade and London will share responsibility for immigration issues across the European region as required. Visa applications from Europe will continue to be processed across Home Affairs Global Immigration Network, as this has been occurring for some time now. And by the way, the German Embassy is looking for interns. How cute is that for an ad? The application fees for Australian visas and citizenship applications have risen once again. For the 190 and 491 and 189 skilled visas, it's up to $4,910. Employer-sponsored 186 PR visa is also $4,910. The 482 visa is now $3,210. Partner visas are a ridiculous $9,365, and unfortunately this higher fee does not mean you get a better service. When I began my career, partner visas cost just $600. Since restrictions were implemented to prevent people from visa hopping, specifically transitioning from the 485 graduate skill visa back to a student visa, many have sought creative ways to circumvent these restrictions. This issue often arises during consultations, and a recent question in our comments section indicates it's a topic worth discussing further on the channel. Ram Buddha wrote in and said, "Hi Carl, could you please explain about some people claiming travel offshore and apply for the Student 500 when they are on their 485 and return back to Australia and apply for a bridging visa and stay on that even after the 485 visa expires? Is this doable and correct?" Thank you for the question. So let's break down the issues. Firstly, when you lodge an offshore student visa application, i.e. applying from outside of Australia, no bridging visa is issued in connection with that application. After lodging the application, you can return to Australia on your current 485 visa to wait while the student visa is processed. However, if you're still waiting and your 485 visa is about to expire, there won't be a bridging visa A to automatically take over. To remain lawfully in Australia, you will need to apply for a bridging visa E after your 485 visa expires. The issue is that you cannot apply for a bridging visa E whilst holding a substantive visa, so technically you would need to become unlawful first. That is not ideal as it records a period of unlawfulness with the department. Another important point is that bridging visa E's do not include automatic permissions to work or study. You can only apply for permission to work based on financial hardship, which actually conflicts with the student visa application assertion that you have sufficient financial resources to study and support yourself. So ultimately you may end up on a bridging visa E with permission to study, but not to work. You might be wondering if you can lodge a review application and stay until the appeal process concludes if the student visa is refused, thinking this will give you enough time to complete your course. Unfortunately, that is not the case. You won't have the right to appeal because you lodged the student visa application outside of Australia. If your student visa application is denied, the BVE you hold will also eventually expire. While there may be circumstances where lodging a student visa offshore could be successful, I'm hesitant to explore that avenue to avoid giving false hope. All student visa applications are assessed on meeting the genuine student test, which can be more challenging for those who have been in Australia for extended periods. If you've been finding it increasingly difficult to secure a permanent residency visa after completing your studies in Australia, then you're not alone. The figures on the 485 visas granted each financial year since 2018 help illustrate the trend. In the 2018 to 2019 financial year, nearly 64,000 485 visas were granted. That number slightly decreased the following year, likely due to the onset of the COVID-19, but then they began to rise again, reaching a peak of 179,017 in the 22 to 23 financial year. However, for the last 2 financial years, the number has dropped significantly to just over 110,000. Now, many of those have left the country, while others transition to different visa pathways. Some obtain the 482 employer-sponsored visas, others move to the 491 regional-sponsored visa, and the luckiest apply directly for PR through the 189 or 190 visas. Well, that's a lot of information to digest for one edition. Remember, if you need a hand, we are always here to help. You can book a consultation online, but if you're in a hurry, just pick up the phone. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any upcoming law changes or policy changes. As always, take care out there, and I will see you next time. So bye for now.